Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the AROPL Balkans channel and welcome to another live show of AROPL Balkans. Welcome, I'm with you today, I'm Jan, and today hopefully we have some guests. If not, I'll be basically presenting a couple of things that Abbasadik mentioned, basically things that he was mentioning recently in his episodes about the divine school of divine mysteries and the divine school in the hall of mysteries, basically about these things that he was saying about corpus hermeticus and basically about Hermes Trismegistus. So if you don't know who that is, you should basically read some books, or at least educate yourself, before speaking anything about it. Hopefully everybody benefits from it, and hopefully we will be having a nice conversation. So I'll be basically paraphrasing with my commentary, of course. If anybody wants to join, he can send me a request, and I'll be joining him in the live show. So hopefully we have an interesting conversation. Today we're going to look into hermetic writings. So basically what Abbasadik, if you look on the YouTube, it's things about Hermes Trismegistus. It's called Corpus Hermeticus, and we're going to look at hermetic writings. We're going to be reading actually on a writing which is about Asclepius, about a persona named Asclepius, and he is this figure. He is the Greek god of medicine. So maybe you heard about him, maybe you didn't, but surely he is not so unknown as somebody would maybe think, or maybe would envision that nobody knows him. So hopefully you look it up who he is, and maybe drop a comment, maybe drop some sort of opinion about him. Yeah, and for that reason you see him holding the staff, the rod of Asclepius, so which is known as the symbol for medicine today. Basically, this symbol is the symbol of medicine, even though a lot of people confuse it with the rod of Hermes. So it's actually this rod is the proper rod of medicine or symbol of medicine that is used today. So he was a Greek god. This Asclepius, this persona, was a Greek god, and he was good at medicine, basically, and he was able to do a lot of things, including to revive people back from the dead. Basically, when somebody when something happened to him, like he died, and this Asclepius, he knew what to do. He was basically called the god of medicine for that. And he was basically deified after his death, and he became deified. I'm sorry. After his death, and he became worshipped. So there was a cult that it was formed around him. His name actually and his father name Apollo both appear in the Hippocratic Oath. Could you imagine that? Right? Both of these characters that I mentioned, both Apollo and Asclepius, you won't believe this, they both appear in a Hippocratic Oath. Can you imagine that? This symbol, this rod, double cross helix, or how you call it, is basically, you won't believe, it's a symbol of Asclepius. It's not a symbol of Hermes, which Abbasadik explains, but maybe somebody of you that are maybe more into academic waters already know that. So hopefully maybe you would like to comment, or if you would like to maybe send me a request, I'll be very happy of any guest today. So hopefully everybody is hearing me, everybody is listening, and maybe we have a nice talk about it. Yeah, so it was basically long time before it was modified for modern times, and their names were both dropped. Basically, these figures, the practitioner was required to initially swear by Apollo and Asclepius before they went on to practice medicine. So they had to basically swear an oath. in these ages, basically, before they would practice or make anything regarding to be included with the medicine. So this is well known in many traditions, but in some books or maybe in the West, this is not so well known. So basically, this is what is a fact, you know. Walaikum salam, sister Sana, kako smo danas govorimo, ili kako rekao, simultano prevodim ili u neku ruku probam dekonstruirati ono što je u ovim posljednjim lekcijama Abasalik objašnjavao u lekcijama o corpus hermeticusu, o liku ili personi koji se zove Hermes Trismegistus. I u prvoj lekciji u stvari je objasnio, sad sam išao malo naprijed, ne zbog toga što bi želeo, hvala za baš lijepo izgledam sa naočalama, hvala. Ne zbog toga što bi želeo, dakle, da ne bi želeo od početka da o ovom razgovaram, ali sam više mislio da zbog ovog što se događa, ili se barem događalo pre nekoliko godina, pre 5 godina, dakle, kako kažemo, ovo hipokratska, ili Hipokratova prisega, dakle, niko ne bi rekao u stvari da je ovo zakletva Asepiusu i kome i Apolu. Dvoje grčkih bogova, dakle božanstva, kojima se, dakle, ovi koji potvrdu, dakle, Hipokratovu prisegu, dakle, daju prisegu, dakle, kod grčkih bogova. Da li možete ovo vjerovati? Dakle, i nije, dakle, ovaj double cross helix, dakle, ove dvije zmije oko palije, ovo nije ni Hermesova palica, već je Asepiusova palica. Da li shvaćate sada koliko je ovo u neku ruku, da kad se nešto kaže, dakle, da, ovo je ova palica, sve znam, dakle, da, ovo je Hermes i to je Hermesova palica, ali nije, dakle, nije. Ovo tek što trebamo da znamo, to trebamo da naučimo, jer svakako kad neko nešto kaže, ovo se može smatrati, dakle, nekim uvidom u neko znanje koji, na primjer, svi znamo da neko znanje neki ljudi nose, neki ljudi znaju nešto, neki ljudi znaju nešto drugo. I znamo da ponekad većina nešto zna, ali ne zna svega, pa nauči poslije. I to u neku ruku je bolje da saznamo što prije i da ne budemo poslije toga, dakle, možda nesretni, možda razočarani ili ovo neshvaćeni, što smo uvređeni, što ne shvaćamo. Pa evo, dakle, na primjer, ako pričam dalje, dakle, ovaj prakticioner medicine, dakle, on je bio, od njega se očekivalo da će prisegu dati kod Apola i Asepiusa prije nego što bi išli da prakticiraju, i Asepius se pojavlja, dakle, u hermetičkim pisanjima, u svim pisanjima kao student Hermesa, i tako ovaj diskurs kroz koji ćemo ići danas je diskurs, je konverzacija koja je bila negdje objašnjena kada se odesila između Mufadola i imam Al-Sadika alejhiselam u Al-Hafta Šarifu. U stvari, na isti način se ove stvari su se objašnjavale. Evo, da vidim da li imamo neke goste. Ako nemamo, dakle, možda ćemo da pričamo simultano. Samo čekam, dakle, da li sam primio nekog gosta. Nisam još, dobro, evo. Za sad nema, evo. Ja se izvinjavam, malo sam prehlađen, malo mi je nos zatrpan, ali ja se izvinjavam, dakle, baš baš je zahladilo malo, pa nisam imao prilike da da potpuno ozdravim. Evo, ali prije nego idemo u to, napravimo u stvari brz nekakvu rekonciliaciju ovoga što je dakle prirodno ili što je stvarno ono što treba da se priča. I u zadnjoj epizodi smo govorili dakle o tome šta je Hermes učio i što je da je u stvari Bog, da je Otac jedan, da je on Bog, da je on Hua, da je on u stvari stvoritelj ili kreator svih stvari. I on je bio, dakle, nedolučan. On je bio nedolučan i nije se ga moglo dolučiti. Dakle, to je ovo. Dakle, da ti pokažeš prstom, dakle, evo, ja mogu da kažem, dakle, evo, to sam ja sam Jan i ovaj čovjek iza mene je Abasan. I on je Qaim. Dakle, i sada, dakle, kad govorimo kod Boga, kad govorimo o Allahu subhanahu wa ta'ala, dakle, ovo trebate da shvatite, dakle. Kada kažem, dakle, ovo je Abasadik i ljudi misle, dakle, da ga mi, kad se njemu poklonimo, da mi pravimo širk. To nije istina. I svakako, možda ljudi se osjećaju možda uvrijeđene ili ne znam što se nekom može da se pokloni čovjeku, ali kada nekom pročita Al-Harta Šarif, dakle, zašto se neko pokloni duhu u čovjeku, to zbog toga što je Al-Harta Šarif je znanje, ezoteričko znanje, da se to može napraviti bez da se čini širk. Dakle, ja mogu vjerovati u apsolutnog Boga, Allaha subhanahu wa ta'ala, i pokloniti se duhu u ovom čovjeku, bez da se poklonim, da padnem, dakle, na kolena, dakle, no, ti si Bog, dakle, ti si sve mogući, sve stvari možda. Ne govorimo mi o tome, dakle, mi govorimo o tome da kad se pokloniš nekom, dakle, pokloni se duhu u njemu, dakle, on nosi duh Qaima, dakle, on je Adam ovog vremena. Znači, on je Adam ovog vremena i duh Adamov, dakle, duh Qaima, je božanski duh koji je prisutan sada u ovom čovjeku i kada se mi klanjamo njemu, mi se ne klanjamo, dakle, mesu i tijelu i glavi i ovim fizičkim dijelom. Ne, mi se klanjamo duhu koji je u njemu i svakome koji ima, dakle, svrhu, dakle, mozga zna da ovaj duh, dakle, života koji je u nama je od koga? Je od Allaha subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dakle, meso ovo oko nas je stvoreno, dakle, od tvari, dakle, od ovog tuzemaljskog univerzuma i mi smo likovi u ovom univerzumu. Dakle, i to je koliko toliko svima jasno, ali možda nekom nije, evo. Pa vam sada probam objasniti u nekom najboljem ruku da me razumete, da možemo naprijed pričati ko ljudi i da možemo pričati u nekom smislu kao da se me razume. Evo, i na primjer, dakle, kada je na primjer neko želeo da se izrazi i da se manifestira u drugačijem smislu ili formi, u stvari ova božanska misao završava se na tome da ima volju. Dakle, božanska misao mora imati neku svoju volju. I ta volja se pretače napred do njega. I božanska misao kreira u stvari formalnu misao i ona se, dakle, miče ispred njega. Dakle, misao ide ispred čovjeka. Dakle, ono što mi mislimo ide ispred nas. Dakle, neko misli, a neko ne. Dakle, ako nešto ne misli, onda misao ne ide ispred nas. Ali svakako, ova misao, dakle, kada neko misli o nekome, dakle, ova zamisao u stvari čini ono što neko misli o nekom čovjeku. I to najljepše bi ovo objasnio, dakle, kad bi objasnio o baš finoj lekciji koje sam danas gledao, dakle, na nekom drugom kanalu, kada se kaže, dakle, da primjer, neki čovjek koji je, dakle, narcis, dakle, da on nikad neće shvatiti, dakle, ili nikad neće pohvaliti nekoga koji činio nešto dobro i koji bi ljudi, dakle, kaže za njega, ovaj čovjek je baš dobar i baš je učinio nešto dobro, dakle. I to ne zbog toga, dakle, što bi narcisoidan čovjek, što bi on mrzeo tog čovjeka. Ne. Pazi to, dakle, ego, kako djeluje ego, dakle, ova strahota od monstruma koji vlada ljudskim umom, dakle. Narcis, šta će učiniti, dakle, on neće mrzeti ovog čovjeka, jer ono što narcis vidi u drugom čovjeku, nije ovaj čovjek koji je dobar čovjek i svakako narcis ne mrzi čovjeka koji je učinio dobro zbog toga što je ovaj čovjek učinio dobro. Ne. On mrzi čovjeka koji je učinio dobro, zašto? Zbog toga što on nije ovaj koji je načinio dobro i ne hvali njega, vidiš. Koja budaleština, dakle, koji mentalni sklop, koji mental moraš da budeš, dakle, da si ovakva budaletina, dakle. Dakle, narcis vidi, dakle, sebe u dobrom čovjeku i kaže, to bi trebao biti ja, dakle, ti što si učinio dobro djelo, ne, ti stani i ne čini više dobra djela, dakle, stani, nemoj ovo više raditi, dakle, ja sam uvrijeđen što ti radiš dobra djela, dakle, ja sam, dakle, frapiran, ja ne shvaćam kako ti, koju potrebu ti imaš da činiš dobra djela, dakle, zašto, zbog čega, dakle, ne shvaćam, dakle, ja ti zapovjedam da ne činiš više dobra djela, dakle, zašto, jer vidi on, dakle, sebe kao onog što je učinio dobra djela i pretpostavlja da bi valjda, kako sad nije on ovaj što je najbolji i koji, dakle, sve ima i najveći je car i kralj i ne znam šta. Vidiš, ovako je, dakle, ovaj ljudski um sve prisutan, ili ljudski ego, u stvari ova stvar koji nam blokira, dakle, da budemo ljudi i da shvaćamo stvari. Uvijek, dakle, neki ljudi će neće shvatiti, dakle, poentu zašto su ovdje i zašto bi ljudi trebali da pričaju jedni sa drugima u neku ruku sa nekom pristojnošću ili nekom održavanju svijesti i održavanju nekog ljudskog diskurza koji bi trebao da postoji u ovom univerzumu. Da, i kako sam rekao, dakle, i ova božanska misao također stvara formativnu misao. I to je manifestacija ili dodatna manifestacija koje se odražava u ovoj formativnoj misli koja delegira, dakle, ove afere ovog univerzuma. Dakle, ova delegativna misao definira ove afere univerzuma, dakle, ovo što misao koji nas afirmira, dakle, ono što neko afirmira da to je ovaj čovjek, koliko salamu rahmatullahi, je u stvari afirmativna misao o nekom čovjeku ili o nama. Dakle, neki čovjek ima, dakle, o pojmu čovječanstvo afirmaciju da ovo je čovječanstvo nikad neće biti drugačije i to je definicija čovječanstva. I kao takvo, dakle, on je afirmirao da to je to, dakle, to je čovječanstvo. I u stvari govorio Abba Sadiki o tome kako u stvari ovo učenje od korpusa hermetikuma zapravo odražavaju učenja Ahmad al-Hasana alejhi selam u knjigi monoteizma u tako, dakle, zanimljivoj stvari. I ako vam pomislimo, mi imamo u poziciji oca ono koji je nepoznat, koji ne može biti razumljen ili koji ne možemo shvatiti. Dakle, ljudski um je previše inferioran ovom božanstvu zvano Allah, dakle sve uzvišenom, da ga mi ne možemo shvatiti i njega zovemo on, dakle to je on, i dakle huva u arapskom. I koncept da imamo tradicije Mohameda i Mohamedove porodice u knjigi modernizma, ova deskripcija da mi imamo Boga, pravog Boga i Boga koji je iznad svakog opisa i ispred svake, dakle, zamisli ili ispred svakog shvaćanja. I on također mora napraviti sebe, dakle, dostojnim ili poznatim upravo u istoj verziji ili u istoj stvari, dakle, kao je on manifestirao sebe u ovoj, dakle, božanstvenoj misli. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brother Ali Saturn. I'm happy that you're here. So hopefully, you can send me a request if I'm able to open. I will invite some of you if you would like to come. You're most welcome that you join us, and that we can have like basic conversation about corpus hermeticum and these latest teachings, because it's very important, like to know what is the mind, what is affirmative mind, what is forethought, what is thought, what is a mind in itself, what is mental, because we know that universe is mental. If you read, for example, Kybalion, like it's called the Book of Free Initiates, is basically very to the point book about these things, and it's very precise book, so hopefully we all understand it. Salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brother Elnur, how are you this evening?
Alaikum salam.
Evo, super da se vidimo. Thank you that you dropped. We are basically talking about corpus hermeticum, and if you have seen this latest shows about these teachings, basically corpus hermeticum is a knowledge about hermeticizmu. So it's basically Greek thought. I mean, it is Egyptian and Greek. Basically in Greek is basically a person who is basically called the same, but like it's kind of some there are similar, but there is a couple of differences. In a school of Egypt and in a Greek schools. But for sure it's very interesting to read both traditions, because like guys that study occult always like to enter into different books, into different interpretations about when personas such as Thoth or Hermes or Idris or Enoch are spoken about. And as we know, we are in the seventh covenant, and what do you know? If you open the book of Genesis, Enoch was, guess what? He was seventh from Adam. Enoch was seventh from Adam, and I mean, the guy existed before Noah. It was like in between. It wasn't like it wasn't a covenant. But Enoch, Idris, even the Quran says, ask Idris, because Idris was a man of knowledge. He was a person of knowledge, and for surely whoever reads the Quran and whoever maybe goes and studies archaeology and history, what a vast amount of knowledge we have here. We have so many things to learn. When we open all these books, what we have to lose, if we read a book here and there. For surely, what Ahmed Al-Hassan revealed, makes very clear, I don't exactly know. For example, if you open maybe Pandora's box of ignorance, why people don't get it, that we are not saying preposterous things if we say that bowing down to a spirit in a man, that isn't shirk, actually that shirk is bowing down directly to Allah. Why? Because Quran itself says that God is only worshipped through a veil. Even if we go like into the details, like the Muslims, they must find the veil. What is the veil? Black stone in Mecca. You see, they don't bow down, to. If we go into these esoteric things about Islam and the pillars of Islam, but how to find the stone of Mecca and like do a Quran by Quran comparison, because it's also a Quranic ayah that whichever way you turn, there is a face of Allah. Subhanallah. For me, it's not important. For surely I won't go like to search with a compass where is the black stone of Mecca to do a prostration. If I would do a prostration, maybe if I meet some Muslim brothers and we say, like maybe we will, if we do a prayer, because look, I'm not like ignorant of Islamic prayers, if anybody thinks so, because I had guys coming here, this person isn't being a Muslim, this person maybe doesn't know how to pray or how to do a wudu, this person, how could even he consider himself a Muslim, Let me tell you something, like me, I know how to do, like, I can do like step-to-step prostration, like Ahmadi religion of peace and light, like tells me to, like I can do 2 rakas in the morning, 4 rakas in the at the noon, at the Dhuhr prayer. I can do Asr prayer, 4 rakas. I can do Maghrib prayer, 4 rakas, and I can do Isha prayer, 4 rakas. Yeah, there is no problem about it. I mean, Maghrib prayer, 3 rakas. 3 rakas, sorry. And I can do it, step by step, and I will do it properly. I have no problem understanding this, how as the prostration goes. And I can even do it in Arabic language if this is a problem. That like me, I shouldn't be a Muslim because I don't know how to do a prostration. I'm just saying, that we are not commanded to be prostrate right now. Why should we be prostrating like right now? What will I gain? I mean, doing a ritual is beautiful. If somebody gains confidence, feels empowered by doing a prostration to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, I don't blame anybody. Even me, here and there I say, Ya Allah, grant me power that I will get through the day and I won't wrong anybody, And of course this is important that we don't get out of the way, to remind ourselves, of certain things. If we do like remembrance of Allah or remembrance of God, that maybe it's good to think of God, to be a better person. It is important, but for surely it's not so important that we must be looking at the clock, oh my God, in 5 minutes I must take my rug out and do a prostration. I mean, what sense in the 21st century does this have? It absolutely makes no sense. It absolutely like is preposterous, that Muslims are coming here, and are asking us these things, for surely, when you go, for example, to do something important, you then do a prostration, But why should I, for example, be prostrating, because somebody told me to, or why should I even recognize people like who come here and like tell me what should I be doing, or how should I be prostrating or talking about certain things? Okay, so this is clear. This is clear from the way. So let's talk about corpus hermeticum and these things. Yeah. So basically, if we talk about Hermes Trismegistus, it is a very interesting character. It is very character who is in esoteric circles very well known. And if we study, for example, Kybalion is it was written in 19s actually, in 1800 at the end, 1864 or something. It is based on these principles, and it is like develop, a thought process which is basically, it is based on Hermetic writings. How how can this universe be comprehended? Max YouTube says, I'm French brother, I'm speaking English. No problem, there's no need for you to enter, I will just explain what I have. So yeah, it is about the book of the three initiates, is basically the teachings of Hermes, and it is like important to know what, for example, that it has like 7 principles of mentalism, you know, of like the universe is mental, and that basically all is all, you know, that all is all, you know, and like what does all mean, you know, like is this everything or is it all, you know, what is all, you know, and we surely know, you know, that you have, for example, a universe, you know, yeah, you have a universe, and you have, for example, something small, you know, you have maybe a grain of rice, you know, and of course, if we compare, you know, like for Allah, for absolute deity, the utmost, for him, like even the leaf doesn't fall from a tree that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't know, subhanallah, you know, so who are we, you know, to be ignorant of that, you know, and say that universe, you know, like even like the awareness, you know, like the mental, you know, to be aware of something, you know, you can be aware, you know, that I'm here, that I'm talking to you, but for surely you may not be aware, you know, who like Abasadik truly is, you know, and maybe many people have trouble comprehending that, you know, like, and we have to remind them, you know, day by day, we are reminding them, you know, return to God, you know, like, give yourself a break, you know, stop what you're doing, you know, like, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jew, you know, I must do these things because I'm, like, I have been born like something, you know, which I don't even know what I'm doing, you know, I'm doing like this stuff online, and or for example, atheists, you know, like, look, the atheists, what are the atheists doing, you know, the atheists are like they just make fun out of everything, you know, Christians say, you know, we must go and, it's a disaster, you know, we must go and bless these things and go to like discredit Muslims, and Muslims say no, we must discredit Christians, but none of them, you know, like is brave enough to recognize that there is some truth in all these religions. Why? Because the monotheism is basically descended one from another. It's like first was Judaism, and then was like Jesus Christ came to the people of Judah, you know, basically to the kingdom of Judah in the south, what was left of it, of course, you know, under the Roman occupation. You know, like, nobody is not like was born like 3 days ago and doesn't know these things, you know. It's like somebody, some people come here, you know, and like act that like I don't know, Muslims were here first, you know. If you read Genesis 17:20, you know, like it says, you know, like to Ismail 12 princes he shall beget, you know. So 12 princes, who are the 12 princes? 12 princes are 12 imams, you know. And the will of Prophet Muhammad says that 12 after the 12 imams will be 12 Mahdis, and this is very easily comprehended for everybody. Yeah. So look, back at Corpus Hermeticus, it says that basically we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a will, just in the same way that the divine mind has a word or has a will, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also has a word, has speech, and has a will. Basically, the will of Allah is the highest of wills. So, and we find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates His most beloved, which here the divine mind created, the formative mind. We have the concept of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creating this light, the initial light of the AROPL Balkans. So, the light of Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. So, what is this mind now? This mind, what is it? This is what Abba Sadiq was asking in this lecture. So, let's try to understand it before we go into the writings and just kind of come to a conclusion without a shadow of a doubt to clarify it. The mind, what is the mind? Mind is a spirit. It's a spirit, mind is a spirit, it's a spirit of God. So, when when we're talking about the mind, we're talking about the spirit. And this is proven by the words of Abu Abdullah, Imam al-Sadiq. So, when he said, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the intellect, the mind. It was the first of the spiritual creatures, so it was a spirit and it was the first of all spirits, and it exists to the right of the throne from his light. To the right of the throne to his light. It is very well explained. The mind. But the mind is a spirit. So nobody can say that it's not there. Like that Abu Sadiq is talking about something, it's not being there. So the spirit is God's spirit. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam said regarding the Almighty, saying, and I breathed into him my spirit. He said, it is a spirit that God chose, selected, created, and ascribed it to himself. So, and he preferred it over all the spirits. That over all the spirits was his spirit. Okay, so then he commanded, and from it was breathed into Adam. So first was the spirit, which he created, and then he breathed it into Adam. Very comprehensible to understand. So, do we have any doubt that now the mind is a spirit? So, is there any doubt that mind is a spirit? If there is, look, please let me know, and we can have a conversation about it, and we can establish these things that we can maybe start to comprehend. So, Elnur, do you have any comment about this? That mind, that basically the spirit of God, that the mind is a spirit of God. Elnur, are you with us? I think Elnur is not with us, and he's maybe sleeping or he's in another universe. So yeah, I don't think today is Friday, so hopefully all of you are having a pleasant evening and a pleasant time with your loved ones, and maybe in a nice place, maybe at some gathering or some dinner maybe. Okay, look, thank you that everyone joined today. I opened the topic. You can say that I didn't drop it. I will put it online. I will make some inserts about it, and tell me what you think. Maybe we can speak about it. Hermeticism, interesting topic. Hermetics, very vast subject. What is in these things, in these spheres of closed, hermetically closed things, hermetic. What it means, hermetic closed? It means that it is in there, but it doesn't get out. Hermetically closed is unopenable. Hermetically closed things. Only people with knowledge can open this hermetical line, and exactly this is corpus hermeticum. This is a very to the point, and maybe if I get time, I will. If I get time, I think I have time. But when you realize that I don't have no time, because I should be doing something important, I realize that I maybe something else. But I would say I will find time to study these things and maybe open a debate with you. So until then, I wish you all a pleasant Friday and a pleasant weekend ahead of us, and a pleasant weekend ahead of you.